Do you have some young rabbits that you're growing out for breeders? You're wondering when should you start breeding them for the first time? That's what we're going to talk about in today's video. Hey guys, welcome back to another Slightly Redneck video. Again, my name is Chris, and if you're not familiar with this channel, I help you to produce your own meat, eggs, and vegetables from your backyard, your balcony, your deck, your garage, or even a spare room in your house if that's the way you want to do it. Like I said, we're going to be talking today about when to breed your rabbits for the first time. Assuming that you've got some young rabbits that you're trying to grow out, you're trying to get them up to breeding size, breeding age, you need to know when to do that. There's two things basically that are going to determine when your rabbits are ready to breed. One is going to be size, weight. The other is going to be age. Age is primarily the one you're going to want to go with, and then weight is kind of a secondary thing. And let me explain that. All right, so when we talk about the age of the rabbit, you generally want to wait till they're about 6 months old to breed. And that really goes for does primarily. Bucks are generally ready just a little bit earlier. 5 months old, somewhere right around in there. Bucks are usually ready to go ahead and start breeding. But does, you want to wait till they're about 6 months old. Now, you do want to get them bred before they're a year old if it's their first time breeding, because after a year old, if they haven't bred, they can develop fat around their ovaries. I mean, there's all kinds of little issues that could occur and make it hard to get them to breed if they haven't bred by a year old. So really, you want to get them bred by a year old, but at least 6 months old. That's the age requirement for it, and that's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. But there are other things to take into consideration. It kind of depends a little bit on how fast growing your rabbits are as to whether they're able to actually breed. The does actually breed by 6 months old. What you really want to shoot for is to get them to a weight that is about 90% of what their adult weight is going to be before you try to breed them. Now, that could happen at 6 months. It could happen at 7 months. It could happen at 8 months. It just kind of depends on your specific rabbit. Most good, decent breeding stock for meat rabbits, they're going to hit their 90% by 6 to 6.5 months, somewhere right around in there, and that's a good time to go ahead and breed them at that point. All right, so here's a good example of that. This is my silver fox doe. She's a blue strain of the silver fox. She is not quite 6 months old, almost 6 months old, probably within days of being 6 months old, but I'm not quite ready to breed her yet. I just weighed her today. She's 8 pounds. Now, I expect her to be close to 10 pounds by her adult weight, and so she's got a little ways to go. She needs to be 9 pounds roughly before she's breeding. Now, when I got her, I picked her up just not quite a month ago. It was a little over 3.5 weeks, something like that, 3.5 weeks ago. She was 5 months old at that point. She was 7.5 pounds. So she's gained a ½ pound in 3 weeks. So I would expect within another month that she's going to be real close to that 9 pound, and I'm going to be able to go ahead and breed her. But I don't want to breed her before that because I don't want to have her competing with trying to put on weight. She's still growing. She's still got some room to grow, and I don't want her competing with trying to feed babies and take care of babies. It could stunt her growth. It could all kinds of things like that. So it's better to wait, give her a little bit more time. Even though she's hit that age mark of 6 months old, she's not quite ready to breed yet. I'm going to give her a little bit more time to go ahead and grow. You can see, if you've seen my previous videos when I picked her up, she is significantly bigger than what she was. Significantly. Let me put her back in here. She's getting a little bit, doesn't want to be messed with right now. Okay, so really it's a pretty simple answer when it comes down to it. Give them at least 6 months. Bucks, you could do it 5 months. And the bucks' weight doesn't really determine that much about whether they're ready to breed or not. By 5 to 6 months old, they're going to be ready to breed. It really doesn't matter how big they are. That's not a concern. It's with the does that you're going to have to worry about. You want to make sure that they're, like I said, roughly 90% of their adult weight. So for these silver fox rabbits that get to be about 10 pounds as adults, I want to wait till she's about 9 pounds. If she's a little under, little over, that's not going to be that big of a deal. But real close, right? Pretty close to the 9 pound mark, and at least 6 months old before I breed her. But again, you want to get them bred before she's a year old, because if you wait too long, then you get the kind of the reverse thing. If you breed her too early, when she's a little bit too small, she may have problems with taking care of the babies. It may stunt her growth a little bit. It may add some health problems. You want to let her get to full, maturity, so to speak, before you do breed her. But at the same time, if you wait too long, then they can start developing fat around their ovaries. It can make it very hard for them to ovulate, to conceive, to actually have baby rabbits. So there you go. Pretty straightforward, straight to the point answer. Hopefully you guys liked it. I'm still working on picking out names for all these guys. I should have them pretty quick. I've got it narrowed down to just a handful. I'll announce what those names are. Thank you for all you guys that did give me name suggestions on the last video where I introduced my new rabbits. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. As always, God bless.